Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is Bottle Rocket. So I'm starting a new series on the channel where I go through Wes Anderson's films in chronological order as they're released. I'm going to be putting these out every other week, and if you're interested, over on Patreon you can get the next video early, so you can get Rushmore right now if you're interested. I just think it'll be a great opportunity to kind of see how he started out, see the progression of his movies and how his style has developed throughout the years. And also we get to see a bit of his entourage as well, like Owen Wilson, I know he's in this, see how that all develops. I have seen some Wes Anderson films. This one, I really have no idea. All I know is that it's his first, so I'm imagining this is going to be a bit more rough around the edges. There will be some kind of like inklings of his style starting to develop here. It'll probably be a bit more character focused because it must have a lower budget, so I'm not expecting any like big grand set pieces, or I'm not expecting everything to be as professional as some of his later work, but it'll be really great to see how he started off, and it's always a bit of an inspiration to see how people start off with their first feature and how they've improved throughout the years, you know? So yeah, over on the Patreon we're going to be 2 weeks ahead, so you'll be able to get Don't Look Up and Rushmore right now if you're interested, and there's also full-length timer-based reactions and polls so you can vote for what's next. So yeah, let's just jump into Bottle Rocket. Okay, already seeing some of his like iconic font work, I guess, at the start there. The big bold fonts. Really vibrant actually, the colours. See, already you can see it's kind of lacking that symmetry that's in a lot of other Wes Anderson films, in a lot of his later ones, but the filmmaking here is still really cool, using a lot of panning shots and close-ups of little things like that. So is he in like a hospital, or is it a prison, or like a mental hospital?
Hey, Dr. Nichols, I was just coming down to say goodbye. Well, see, my friend Dignan didn't realize that this was a voluntary hospital, and just got so excited about the thing. I didn't have the heart to tell him.
So it's all fake, the escape.
Look how excited he is. Can you do it fast? You know, this doesn't look good. None of this looks good at all. Really been a great help. You've been a great doctor. Can you hand me my bag, please?
It definitely has that kind of quirkiness to it though, doesn't it?
Do that. You brought the janitor? Smart.
See, some of the sound mixing is a bit off. You can tell it's a bit amateurish there. The music was overpowering the voices. I don't think that was purposeful.
Now this is just a rough sketch of what I was trying to do.
The zoom-ins on the text, yeah. So there's definitely indicators of his like upcoming style, and like there's cuts to the different pictures and stuff.
On the structure, and that's what's important for us.
And the very fast-paced talking as well through stuff. What are they up to then? Are they robbing someone's house? Yeah, you can definitely see the start of his style coming into play. I really like the chemistry of these two characters so far. I know one's Owen Wilson, I think the other is his brother, right?
By the way, great job in there. It was nice working with you. In fact, judging from how well that... Here you go, you gotta do that up there. There you go. From how well that job went today, which was pretty good.
I do really like the dialogue as well, how there's like the quick interruptions.
You took the earrings, Dignan? You took them?
The thing is, I can't be sorting through all that shit in the middle of a burglary.
I bought the earrings for my mother on her birthday. I went down, I picked them out Maybe we should have robbed your house, Shiver.
So was it he was robbing his own house? Or like robbing his parents?
Come on, Dignan.
You know there's nothing to steal from my mom and Craig.
Some associates. That's
Dignan?
Yeah, Dignan, and also what's wrong with Dignan, Greg?
Even she knows Dignan's a bad influence.
Well, I think there's a real area of mystery about me.
Don't complicate it. Your number one strength is you have a car you can...
I'm growing an entire crop of marijuana plants in my parents' backyard. I think that shows a little bit.
You're growing...
I really love how they're like trying to be these criminals, but it seems a lot like they're very kind of middle class. Just makes me wonder if they actually are doing it because they need the money, or are they doing it because of boredom, you know?
In the 2 months I spent with Mr. Henry and his crew, than I learned in 15 years of academic study.
So Mr. Henry is like this guy further up the ladder, you know?
If you're feeling alone, like nobody in the world cares, nobody in the fucking world gives a shit, then I'm here. And if you want, I'll even open up first. I mean, my brother, that's a shit.
Just wants to open up to someone.
Elizabeth's sorority sister?
I didn't know she had a sister. But I never wanted to answer another water sports question or see any of these people again for the rest of my life.
So he just ditched his whole friend group.
Okay, escape route is crucial.
Are they planning like a heist, or is it just...
We're gonna be chased. I'm just being hypocritical here. However, I will say, Bob,
Does he mean hypothetical, not hypocritical? They're just completely inept at all of this, aren't they?
why are you undermining me, man?
How much bullets does this thing take?
Bob! You're not paying attention if you're messing around with the gun. Now quit.
True, Dignant, I paid for the gun.
Say it again.
You don't want people just playing around with the gun casually, though.
He's out. You're out too. You two just don't give a shit. You're gonna come right down. Come on.
I thought he was going to accidentally fire it.
I apologize. That was poor leadership.
Wes Anderson, he loves these like tone shifts in the character beats. Like really quick, like he leaves the room and then suddenly comes back and apologizes real quick. Suddenly from like super mad to super apologetic and super calm, you know? He did that a lot with Mr. Gustav in Grand Budapest Hotel.
I left my sweater inside. I know. Do you have a lost and found? A lost and found?
The money where?
In the cash register. Step away from the door. Stalkers! Stalkers! Wait, you both back there. Take these. Let's go. Both back there. Come on, move.
This is like somewhat chaotic, but there's still like this quirkiness and this chillness to it. He loves that kind of juxtaposition.
Where's the money? Where's the money? Talk, Stretch.
It's in the drawer.
No, it's not. Come on. The other one.
There's like this awkwardness to it.
Get one of those bags. Let's move. Come on.
Call me an idiot, you punk.
Do you have bigger bags for atlases or dictionaries, sir?
It's all full up. Okay, they need you in the office right now.
See how calm it is? It just... It's so funny.
Do your best.
And now he's saying, do your best to the guy he's supposed to be robbing.
Thank you so much.
He's saying thank you. It's like they're almost role-playing as these robbers more than they are actual thieves, you know?
That's the crew. That's Mr. Henry. These are the...
That's the Lawn Wranglers.
Yeah, it was all a lie.
Landscape.
Some of this is reminding me a lot of American Animals. Dignan seems a bit like a Warren-type character.
Because we're fugitives.
He just loves role-playing the part, you know? Is he gonna try and prove his worth back to Mr. Henry?
Just because it's a front doesn't mean somebody doesn't have to do the actual landscaping. Appreciate it if you didn't mention to Bob about me getting fired.
The kind of musical stylings of Wes Anderson are very much present here. These songs, like this song specifically that's playing now, I can imagine that little tune playing during a sequence in Grand Budapest or something.
But I don't think that your happiness is quite appropriate. Crime does not pay.
Perfect. Great little place to lie low. The heat cools down.
They're acting like the fugitives, but is there anyone actually out looking for them? Except maybe Anthony's parents? The green colours are just so vibrant. That grass and the trees in the back there. I love the quick cuts to the kind of objects. They're a great way of showing some character, you know? You see what her shoes are like, what her little radio is like. It just gives you a little bit of an insight.
Difference between some trooper recognized.
Bob kind of looks like a character from Reservoir Dogs, you know? Especially with his glasses, his cut behind his ear. It's like Bob is cosplaying a character from Reservoir Dogs.
I think I might have seen you earlier when I was swimming. Did you happen to see me down there?
It seems like maybe her English isn't the best anyway. She doesn't really understand what he's saying.
You have really good posture, you know. People, they think because they're in a hotel that they can really...
He's just gonna follow her around to all of the other rooms. But he was being a slob in his room.
Mexico, you're from
Paraguay.
Paraguay.
Excuse me,
Under
Anthony.
Guatemala.
My brother is in jail. What?
Brother was arrested for it.
The weed from my back.
He was just growing it in his back garden, not even like hidden somewhere. That's super stupid.
They say he's a drug dealer.
Is it all pinned on his brother? Did his brother actually have anything to do with it? Wow, he's really just following her around everywhere.
Little girl in Paraguay. Can I keep this?
She's my sister.
Yeah, I was wondering. That's so weird.
Can I keep it anyway?
It's just... I can't tell if she actually likes him or if she's weirded out by him. Might be a bit of both, you know.
Dignan does not want to deal with it. Could you please come outside for a minute?
We've got to analyze the situation, okay?
Yeah, like it's quite a serious situation for him.
Figure out what's going on, and if he's not out in 48 hours, then we'll go back, okay?
¿Qué es the tibio?
What?
¿Tibio?
I hope this doesn't get Innes fired.
No lifeguard on duty. Swim at your own risk.
Was he just there that whole time?
You guys mind if I take a dip? Hey, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not that insensitive.
But he would just sit there and watch anyway. He's not insensitive enough to get in, but he's insensitive enough to just sit there watching.
An alarm on it, and it will go off and make a sound when we're supposed to meet.
So he's arranged another meeting, but he hasn't given her a number or anything. It's just the beeping of that. It's just be at a certain place when this beep goes off, basically.
Son of a bitch! Anthony!
Bob's run off with the car.
Bob's gone! He stole his car!
It's not exactly stealing your own car if you drive off your own car, but yeah. He's run off back home to see his brother. I love how Dignan takes everything so seriously. He's acting like he's stolen a ton of money from him. Bob's just drove away. It's not like...
Bob didn't steal the car. You know, he told me he was leaving. He went back to help his brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Sketches. Sparks coming off, kind of.
You can tell him actually likes her just from the way he's talking about her and he's smiling, you know?
Why don't you come over to this bar we're going to, Dignan?
Can't tell if Dignan is kind of jealous of the romance side or is just jealous of the attention that Anthony's getting. You know, he's not getting it anymore.
Hello, my friend. Hey, hola, amigo.
I know, it's super heavy.
No, I just had short.
I was wondering that when he was talking about combat before. He was talking about fighting or something and exercise. When he was talking about exercise, I saw his short hair and thought, oh, has he spent time in the military?
Boy, that guy was a real chatterbox, wasn't he?
Oh, he's getting jealous. Digman's getting in a fight in the background.
God, you know, I can't believe the guy just decided to jump you like that.
He just loves... He's like a pathological liar, isn't he? Saying the guy jumped him instead of the actual truth.
I need a car, I think.
Yeah, they're kind of stranded here.
Keyed all the rooms, doesn't she?
Oh, steal someone's car.
Hey, Rox. Yeah, can you help me out for just a second?
Translator.
When we had sex this afternoon, it was fun.
He doesn't want to translate that.
I mean,
Yeah, he's just revealed it to Rocky.
I want you to come with us.
Where are you going?
Yeah, they don't have a plan.
You want me to go live with you and Jerry?
Sí.
You're like paper, you know, you're trash.
Ooh.
You know, you're like paper flowing by, you know.
Yeah, just flying through the wind.
You have to understand, she's an organized person and she can't just leave.
She can't just, uproot her whole life just for a random guy she's seen for like a week.
Mi amigo Anthony asked me to give you this envelope. There you go.
Is it a note
Certainly enjoy
and money to kind of bribe her?
Tell Anthony I love him.
Do what?
from a Niz, not Rocky. Does he realize that it was a translation? I really love the atmosphere some of this music is creating for this. Yeah, the colours here are just gorgeous. The red and the green, the contrast there is great. And now it looks a bit more muted in the colours with this scene in comparison. I guess it does seem like it's a bit inconsistent, you know?
Man, 1 minute's running like a top, and the next minute's broken.
What do you expect when it looked like that? Yeah.
We're okay. This is a setback. We hitchhike. What is this?
That's all he has. He gave the rest to Inez.
Where's the rest of the money?
You gave it to Inez.
Why would he just give all of his money to her like that, though? Is it money to say, come and live with me, use this money to come and live with me? Or was it just like a gift?
Don't give a $500 tip to the housekeeper!
Yeah, $500. Wow.
What were you thinking? What were you thinking?
She didn't love you, man.
They have a lot of like shallow focus close-ups on these characters' faces, I've noticed.
What do you think Dignan was doing that whole time you were out there, man?
If he's in a hospital for like mental problems, Dignan's just guilt-tripping him. He had a valid reason to be there, right? Oh, that looked like it was right in his eye as well. Okay, just hit his nose.
I've got 3 jobs. The money isn't much.
But it's better than just being a criminal.
They're mostly beginners, but they've got a lot of spirit, and they don't let defeat get them.
I love how they over-exaggerate everything. It makes it sound like he's coaching a pro football team.
Take the time in school to learn a foreign language.
Okay, there he goes.
Hey! Anthony!
Dignan's chasing him down. Maybe he's got a job. What's this suit he's wearing?
How long you been back?
Back with Mr. Henry at the lawnmowers.
I wish that some of the stuff that was said hadn't been said out there. Jumpsuit. You like it? Or a dozen of them.
So he's got a completely new job somewhere.
Got some visitors!
Oh no, it is at the lawn wranglers.
Right now. How's the weather down there? Mr. Henry, come on in.
Mr. Henry seems like a bit of a character.
That's Anthony.
This is no good ringing him here. What the shit, man? Are you crazy? What are you thinking?
Quite a nice space, this warehouse. Got the ping pong table set up on all these sofas. It looks quite cool, the interior design, like with that sofa.
Let me tell you about this job we're gonna pull.
So is this like a more serious job now?
Choppers, can you see how incredible this is gonna be? Hang gliding? Come on!
It's like bringing you back for one final job.
You're breaking his heart. You know that, don't you? Huh? There's something in his voice. You know what I'm saying?
You could tell.
I mean, poor guy.
Was that when they had their argument?
What are you wearing?
Yeah. It's a jumpsuit.
Clay, look at this guy. He looks like a rodeo clown. This guy used to mow our lawn. No shit. Yeah, he was great.
Oh shit, yeah.
It's landscaping, not just mowing. I'm not always as confident as I look.
Did you see what he had on?
Yeah, he's not as confident when he's around people that are like higher up than him, I guess. But he's super confident with Anthony and Bob.
What?
I'm in.
I knew you'd be back.
Gotta get me one of these jumpsuits.
The outfits in Wes Anderson films are always so iconic. I imagine that yellow jumpsuit is. Then in Life Aquatic they have the blue uniforms with the red berets. There's just a lot of iconic imagery you can get out of it.
I don't expect an apology. I don't even want one, you know?
Can you believe this guy? I don't expect an apology.
Backyard, right now, let's go. This is my house, asshole.
So it's Bob's house, but it's Bob who has the really nice house.
Or in the real world, we don't settle our problems with hugs, man. We settle them with bare knuckles.
It's just gonna stop. They like he hit Anthony more than he did Dignan. Sometimes you just need to get it out your system.
And you don't play any golf. So why? Why do you belong to a country club?
Just for the appearance of it.
That's right, you're on that top secret mission. I'm sorry, I forgot I wasn't supposed to say anything.
I just appreciate it if you didn't run around telling everybody lies about it.
Your brother's a cocksucker.
Yeah, no. It's all at John's expense.
Hispanic male, non-smoker, enters white van in southwest door.
So it's a cold storage facility. What are they actually going to be stealing from it then?
I thought she was a good person. She was friendly. She was attractive.
Stuck to her guns.
That kid Rocky struck me as kind of a weirdo.
Yeah, he said he loved you.
Did he never pass on that message?
Was he translating for me when he said he loved you?
I mean, it couldn't hurt, could it?
No, it couldn't hurt.
Is Henry going to betray them? Does Henry have something up his sleeve? Or is he just trying to help him out a bit?
If you let me try this one more.
Damn. I want to tell you something, kid. You got the guts of a damn lie.
Yeah, it's just like that. Has she learned any English in this time?
Anthony?
Yes! She recognized my voice. God, you sound terrific. How are you?
It's been like a few months, hasn't it? Like 6 months.
Gotcha. I've been looking all over for you. I talked to every single person at the hotel today.
When am I going to see you again?
Fluent now, Inez.
Thank you. I do.
What's he going to do then? Hopefully the heist doesn't get in the way or something. That was a great cut. Especially with the sound effect, just the contrast.
Kumar, are you ready? Let's get lucky.
You guys take the elevator. I'm gonna make sure of the stairway. I'm gonna secure the stairway. Kumar, are you okay?
Yeah.
I love Applejack and Kumar here. It's just, you know, the exact people you wouldn't expect in a heist. These two older guys.
Stop, get it down, go!
That was a great shot following it on the elevator like that. There's very much the kind of physical humour Wes Anderson has sometimes, it going up and then has to go down a little bit. I feel like in the later films that would have been played up a bit more, that visual comedy, but they were still really good there.
There it is. Oh boy, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Oh, he's breaking into the... Okay.
No problem.
Hey, Jackknife, come in. I really don't want to do this robbery, you know?
Man, neither do I.
Rob is going to abandon his post. That might cause problems.
Walkie-talkie busted. I don't know what's going
Give it to me. Did you drop it? Come on, Bob.
He dropped his walkie-talkie. Who's watching the front door? Get back in position, asshole.
Yeah, they're acting like something's gone severely wrong. It's just Bob can't do anything.
Jack, talk to me. What's going on? Applejack, talk to me.
Somebody's coming out of there. Go back. Look.
Come here. Up against this wall. Come here. Up against this wall. Move.
Yeah, now they've got hostages and it's all just going wrong.
Hold on. Jesus,
What the hell are you doing here?
And it's calling him by his real name as well.
Put on your mask.
They've already seen our faces, didn't they?
Don't worry about it. Put on your mask.
get these guys. Get behind these guys.
Where'd these guys
Bob?
It was always going to be Bob who misfired. Did it hit Applejack?
Shoot him. He must be having a heart attack or something.
All of the stress. Why do they have smoke bombs? This is just so much chaos. I love how nonchalant like the guys who work there were. They were just standing there doing nothing.
Just alarm, man! It's the fire alarm.
Oh, because of the the smoke bomb.
Absolute, man.
Come on, what are you doing in the freezer?
I don't know, man. I lose my touch.
Oh, the faces have all been seen. They're all talking to each other by name. I wonder how this will go. Do they not have a key for the door for the car?
The elevator broke. Where's Applejack? He's stuck on the second floor.
Oh, they've got to go back in and get him.
Run.
They can't just abandon Applejack. Yeah, you can't leave him there alone. Can't let him just take the fall for all of this, and if he's having a heart attack, he could just die.
I'm either, okay, Dignan? Now you get back to Bob's. Just go.
I like how Anthony's actually taking responsibility here. Yeah, he's taking charge when things are actually serious.
Never catch me, man.
I felt like it kind of bigged up that moment, him like getting a bit of a redemption, I guess. Oh, the whole house has been robbed? Or is it Mr. Henry fucking them over? Like, while they're on the heist, he says, oh, well, he hired this moving company to move all their stuff out. And he recovered Applejack fine enough, okay. Oh no, locked him out. Oh no. Oh, he's completely surrounded, yeah. No exit that way. Is he just gonna try and hide? Of course. Unnecessary force, gotta beat him up a bit for some reason, even though he'd given up. I don't know, it looks like he's quite happy with himself though. Maybe it's just the adrenaline rush of it. Hopefully Applejack's okay, they've got an ambulance there, yeah. That would have been Anthony though, if Digby had let Anthony do it. But I guess, you know, you never know if Anthony would have made the same mistake that Digby did with the keys.
1 month down, 23 to go.
Okay, so we got 2 years in there. Not too bad, I guess.
We robbed Bob's house. You're kidding me. Robbed that place myself.
I love Rob's reactions to stuff. Everyone he just is there.
Strange way, it's brought me and Future Man closer together.
Yeah.
Just because you're a fuck up doesn't mean you're not my brother.
Yeah, sometimes the kind of adversity can bring you together a bit. Yeah, it must be a pretty low security place if they just let them in here into the yard. They called it a penitentiary, not like a prison, you know?
We did it though, didn't we?
I mean, not really, but...
Yeah, we did it all right.
They got some of the thrill out of it.
Grappling hook. Don't worry about it. I think I might have found a way out of here.
Of course, he's planning an escape.
When we go through the next gate, you'll have 30 seconds to take out the tower guard. They won't shoot civilians. Are you ready? Hold on.
He must be joking. I like how the music started kicking, isn't it? Even as an audience, you weren't quite sure if he was being serious, and the music kicked in as well to kind of help with that as well. It's like when the actually music starts to kick in, you start to wonder, oh, is this actually going down? Okay, that was Bottle Rocket. That was much more enjoyable than I thought it would be. I think all of the character interactions here just work really well. They have so much chemistry, Digby and Anthony, and I think that is because they're brothers, right? It's Owen Wilson and Luke Wilson. It's kind of funny how Luke Wilson here, he was kind of more the main character, the leading man, whereas in future films, it's like Owen Wilson becomes even more of a celebrity than he does. So it's fun to see how that kind of panned out in the future, I guess. And then there was also Andrew Wilson, who played Future Man, and you could kind of tell how related they are just because of how they talk. They all kind of have that similar cadence to their speech and that kind of similar accent as well. You know, I know Future Man was supposed to be Bob's brother, but you could really hear like kind of like that Wilson kind of way that they speak. So you can really see the kind of start of some of Wes Anderson's stylings here. You know, there's a lot of the shots where it's close up on some like text or drawings or like books and things like that, and like some other quick cuts to objects. So you can kind of see the start of that and his kind of iconic font work in the title screen for this. But then there's obviously some much more kind of conventional filmmaking here that you don't get a lot of with the rest of Wes Anderson's filmography. But I think the way the characters talk and interact is still very Anderson-like. You know, there's this kind of flip-flopping between emotions very quickly, like that scene where Jigby was like kind of blowing up at Bob, left the room, and then immediately came back and apologized really calmly. That reminded me a lot of Gustav from Grand Budapest, like I said during the reaction. It's just this kind of juxtaposition of really quickly changing the emotions just creates this great bit of comedy. And there was some great visual comedy here as well, the elevator going up and then back down and a few other things. It was just really fun. And then I really loved all of the chaos with kind of the final heist when Bob's gun had gone off and then Applejack is having a heart attack. That was all just hilarious. You know, kind of as I was expecting, because this is lower budget, is much more character focused, and I did quite like that. I thought all of these characters, even though they are a bit stupid and they're not exactly the best people, they are kind of likable and you get to know them quite well. You know, they have like these endearing qualities to the characters, even if the people aren't that great as people. I know there is also a short film for this. I think it's only like 10 minutes, so I might add that on at the end as well, like a little reaction to that, because I think what probably happened was they made this short film and then some studio picked up and gave them funding to make like a full-length feature. So it'd be cool to see that as well. I imagine that is even more, you know, a little bit even more rough around the edges. But you can definitely tell, even from this, how much potential there is there, you know? I think this reminds me of almost like a Napoleon Dynamite, where it's very character-focused. It's very kind of suburban and kind of low stakes, but all of the character interactions are really fun and quirky, and that's kind of what carries the film. I really like this kind of heist storyline. It reminded me a bit of American Animals, where it didn't really seem like they were doing it because they needed the money, especially with like Rob. He had this like super nice house, so it's obvious that he wasn't doing it because he had no other option. It was like he had jobs. They all had regular jobs that they could do if they really needed more money. It wasn't like they were forced into this. It seemed like they were just doing it out of the excitement and for the sense of adventure. I don't think that side of it wasn't explored that much, but you could kind of infer that, you know, they were just kind of these white middle class kids who just wanted this sense of adventure. And of course there's consequences for that when things start to ramp up and they're robbing like this actual big storage facility, and then obviously they get caught. I'm surprised none of the others were kind of caught and roped into this as well, because everyone's calling everyone by name when they were in the storage facility. So I thought Anthony and the others would also get charged with something, but I guess it seems not. Maybe there just wasn't enough evidence for that. You can kind of see the kind of outline of a plot here for a kind of stereotypical kind of heist movie. You know, you have some action at the start, then it slows down a bit, you have a bit of a betrayal, and then they get back together for like their one final heist. You know, I liked how it was set up, but because it's only 90 minutes, it was quite a fast pace, which I really enjoyed. I think with a lot of Wes Anderson films, it always feels like a lot of the characters, they're like putting on a face, they're like putting on a bit of a persona here. You know, especially with Dignan, he's kind of putting on this persona that he's this big time criminal gangster kind of character. But I think that's really effective in Wes Anderson films, because you see all of this kind of fakeness around the character, and then eventually that will break down and you get to see their true selves, and it kind of builds this connection for the audience with them. You know, and that is something you could kind of say about Wes Anderson films as well. You know, they have this kind of sheen and this polish and this look to them that's very iconic. It's kind of like it's putting on this front, but really deep down there are a lot of good heartfelt messages within the movie as well, once you kind of start to break it down. So the characters almost reflect some of the filmmaking style, which is really cool. Yeah, I did find it funny how Anthony is kind of the leading man here, because you'd kind of assume that it's Owen Wilson because of how popular he is now. I can see why back then they'd think Luke Wilson was more of a leading actor. He kind of has a bit more of that Hollywood look, I guess. He just has a bit more of that. He kind of feels the beauty standard a bit more. And then Owen Wilson is kind of this side character who's really fun and quirky, but you can see how he kind of gets a bit more of the attention from the film. So I thought I'd also throw in a little quick reaction to the 10-minute short. I imagine this is how they funded the original project. They got a studio to see this and greenlight their project. So this is Wes Anderson's like earliest work, really. It's kind of very old school 4:3 aspect ratio, already playing around with the aspect ratios.
Second, running to different payphones, what the hell is that all about?
That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
some
Killer's leading him across the city by calling different payphones.
It's in black and white as well. So it's kind of starting off right into the action. And then they're doing their robbery, yeah. And this looks like it's the same one that it was like his parents' house. I don't know if it's just like the same house or if this is they're stealing from their parents again. Bit of that style, you know, cutting towards the little close-up. And then in the like diner after.
Easily $200. That's less than what they're appraised at.
So I think they're kind of focusing on the character interaction here to kind of sell the film.
I told you not to take the earrings.
Yeah, and they're bringing in the earring subplot as well. So it's almost like this segment of the film that they took out and they filmed. And then they extended that, but like before this event and then after this event as well.
Well, I can't be sorting through all that shit in the middle of a burglary. There's just not time for it.
Yeah, it's almost like word for word.
$5, $7, $8.
Holy shit, what'd I tell you? That's not bad.
It's like an hour's worth of work.
Where'd you learn how? Looks on herbs.
Oh, okay, and Bob's here as well. They're talking about the growing the weed, yeah.
Pot is an herb. It's like any other kind of gardening.
6,000? Are you serious?
You should see it.
It seems like in this one specifically, especially this short, there is some kind of like Tarantino influence, especially Reservoir Dogs. You know, that you have that opening sequence when they're sitting around talking and they're just talking about nonsense, but it gives you an insight into their character. That's kind of what it was like at the start of this short. And then this scene is very reminiscent, just them sitting at the table and talking. Therefore, the premise is kind of similar as well. It's all based on a heist. And then this sequence again when they're learning how to fire their guns. I quite like how this is shot in this short as well. It seems a bit like almost voyeuristic, some of that.
Okay, one more thing we need to discuss. Gotta come up with a getaway strategy, just in case somebody's tailing us.
I like that, the cuts to that real quick.
No, I don't think we're gonna be chased. I'm just being hypocritical now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, Bob, hang on a second, because this is important. Anthony and I are responsible for the internal situation. That's money and people.
It's cool, you know, they're having this conversation, planning it, and then to kind of save time, they're showing shots of inside the store. Very like efficient because it's only like a 13-minute short.
Bob, goddamn, what the
Say to the guy, can I get in there?
Oh, they don't actually show it. They're like, this is after, I guess it's successful.
Do you have a lost and found?
I like that.
When Anthony goes, do you have?
You know, if they're on such a small budget, they don't have permission to film in there. It's a good way to do it. Recreate it afterwards through their story.
Like pushing them back. Then we didn't have the right size bag.
Yeah, Dignan starts going, we're gonna need a bigger bag.
I need some bags.
We're gonna need a bigger bag.
And we actually see that in action in the actual movie. That's cool.
Man, Bob, the manager goes to me. The manager goes, I'm gonna remember you.
Are you serious? Yeah, he said.
Yeah, so this short really thrives on like the character interactions because they can't do much with such a tiny budget. Yeah, so I just wanted to do the short after I'd seen the movie just in case it spoiled anything. It didn't seem like it would have spoiled anything too bad. I just would have seen that scene repeated again. But I wanted just to do it just to make sure. So I think that's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed this. If you like this, consider leaving a like or a comment. If you really loved it, be sure to subscribe to keep up to date for all the future uploads. Next week will be Don't Look Up, and then the week after will be Rushmore. And of course, if you're interested, check out the Patreon and you can get both of those right now. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.